Building Floaty so far has been nothing but incredible. I started with the idea that this could be done pretty quickly, pretty much everyone else, right? Especially software engineers were well known for being highly optimistic about pretty much anything. And I also started with that idea. I thought that I could cook something up in a few months, and I actually did cook something up in a few months. And I had a group of testers that tested a very bare bones application, CLI command line application. For those who don't know, essentially no buttons, nothing visual. Just you started this command line and it just output text, and you see what it's doing. And obviously, you like when they were interacting with their broker, they would get trades blocked or orders trimmed, etc. So that was the first part of Floaty, and once that worked, it made sense to build a product out of it, and to build a product out of something that's so new, such a new category. Nothing existed at that point. It's actually quite hard. It took me a long time to actually get something done, and something that made sense and something that could actually be done. I got someone on board to help with the UX part, and it was really challenging even for him. Like he's a really solid UX guy, but again, all these things take time, and it took us a long time. For me to actually develop the whole thing, it took too long. And there's many reasons for that. The first reason is that Floaty is a very complex product. Floaty is not your typical app. Your typical app will usually have client and server, the client being, the mobile app or the web app or both. And your server kind of like or coordinating all the business logic, holding, accounts, payments, database, everything that kind of has to live somewhere for all these devices to sort of be in sync. Floaty has that, but it also has the added component that there's multiple things running inside your computer. The reason Floaty runs inside your computer is because you're actually trading on your computer. These days, more and more people are trading on their phones, but Floaty is aimed for serious traders, for people who actually trade or try to take trading seriously. And usually, these people will be trading on their desktops. So Floaty is a desktop application that plugs directly into your broker, and your broker application will accept a connection from Floaty, and then Floaty can watch over you, see what you're doing, and then make sure you abide to the rules that you've set for yourself. So, as I was saying, Floaty has multiple processes running in this computer uh, in order to protect you. A tilted trader, someone who's been just stopped by Floaty, can very easily quit the application. And if that's all it takes for you to stop the protection, well, I guess we didn't do a great job, because anyone really can just quit an app and keep trading. And that's not the point. The point is to protect you from yourself when you're in your worst kind of moment. And for that, we need a few other things running. And all these things that are running need to communicate with each other, need to talk. And, besides all this sort of orchestration and flow of communications among all the pieces, um, you also need to make sure that when you're intervening in the trader's trading, you don't do anything strange, you don't do anything weird, and you are ready to handle someone who's like absolutely emotional, absolutely on tilt, and trying to just slam the bid or slam the ask, whatever, and trying to essentially get over you. You're acting here in essentially nanoseconds, I would say. The hot path, where the hot path in engineering just means like the fastest path, where we're actually like the key path where we're intercepting the order before it hits the exchange. Because the way Floaty works is Floaty is watching these orders coming in, and before the orders hit the exchange, Floaty will either quickly block it or quickly modify it, just to make sure that it abides to your rules. This has to happen very fast, and there's a lot of checks against your rules that happen. There's checks against the instruments, the live instruments, prices, etc. All this needs to happen very, very fast. So Floaty is an interesting piece of technology, I would say, which I'm very proud of. But of course, I've built the whole thing literally alone, by myself, all the code I've written, and that includes all the UI. I'm not a UI guy. I've done UI in the past, and actually, thanks to artificial intelligence and all these new LLMs, I managed to pick it up a little bit quickly. But otherwise, it was not something I was keen on. I tried to get a couple of friends to help me with this, and I tried to also hire many times people to actually do this. But I always felt like I was getting a bad deal. So I never went along with any hires. Me as a software engineer, I've been coding since I was 13. I'm 35 now, for context. So that's a long time. I've seen pretty much everything, and most of the time when you try to hire someone, your interests are never aligned. And the reason is that for them, their priority is number one, get paid as soon as possible. And that means get the job done as soon as possible, as quick as possible. And that's not really what you, as the product owner, want. You want someone who actually owns that, who actually embraces that, and who actually loves that. That is very hard to find. And even if you find it, it's very hard to maintain. I have nothing to offer you. Like, I cannot offer you equity of something that just does not exist yet. I'm like this little fucking lunatic in a basement, quote unquote. I'm not in a basement, but I'm just me. I'm just building this out of like passion, out of drive, out of like, So I don't really have much to offer to you. And yes, of course, I could go and raise money. Honestly, I'm not sure if I should have done that. I always told myself that I would raise once the product was finished because it would be worth more, and it would also like capture attention more of anyone who was actually interested in. I never was a fan of just, hey, invest in my idea, especially for a consumer app, which is like and such a niche consumer app, because like, remember, this is just for traders. It's not like, oh, like take a picture of your meal and it'll give you, like how healthy it is. Like, that is mainstream. Like, Floaty is not mainstream. Floaty was born from the necessity of having a problem myself and following my own rules and just being an absolute degenerate when trading. So yeah, I'm not sure if raising would have helped. Maybe it would have. But other than that, I didn't really have anything to offer to everyone who was kind of like trying to help. Never found anyone who was, I guess, who could compliment me enough, except for this UX guy. And that means that I've written essentially the full code base. Right now, Floaty is around 100,000 lines of code. Most of these, or 60% of these, were written pre-AI. Nowadays, everyone can write code and everyone can write like thousands of lines in one afternoon or in like a weekend. I am aware of that, but most of Floaty was actually thought of and written before AI. I am very careful with what I let and what I don't let AI do with the Floaty code base. I've since written other little tools and other little things that are completely separated from Floaty, and those sometimes I won't really care. I won't really read the code. I won't really like do much with them, but I do care what goes into Floaty. And the problem with these models is that if they make subtle mistakes, all these mistakes compound in an exponential way, because these models will read your code. When you ask them for the next thing, they will read your code and they will build up on those mistakes. So at the beginning, what was a very, very small mistake, or what was a very small mistake, doesn't mean it doesn't work. The code probably works. It's just designed badly. It's the wrong design, wrong architectural design, wrong software design, and it'll build on that. So what started as something very small will eventually keep increasing onto a point where it's just absolutely impossible to maintain. Nonetheless, AI has been an absolute game changer for me, and I'm extremely thankful, especially for all the UI side. Floaty's UI is not great, really. Like, what makes Floaty great is everything that's behind the UI, but at least I've managed to push through and get a product out in the market without really having to spend years working on the AI. on the UI. Sorry, and yeah. Anyways, this brings me to the current moment, which is Floaty has finally launched. Floaty exists. This is something I've been looking forward for uh, probably years. This is it's a very special moment for me. And at the same time, not that I was not expecting this, but it's a bit of an eye opener because all of a sudden now I see myself in front of a world of traders who absolutely have no idea that Floaty exists, yet have the problem that Floaty's solving. So I now start from scratch on a new problem, which is how to get leads, how to actually get people into the lead funnel, how to actually build a lead funnel, and how to just essentially tell people that Floaty exists and that hopefully it can solve all the problems that they've been facing for so long. So this is again just an absolutely new world for me. I've been reading Alex Hormozi's $100 Million Leads book. Absolutely fantastic. Great to get a little bit of orientation. I'm trying to just understand how exactly I'm going to bring all these people in. I'm creating. I'm literally like just like drawing like these lead funnels, trying to figure out what to do with my social media. I have never been a social media guy. I don't have like enough presence on social media. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to try and build that, and that's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort because this is not something that I'm natively good at. But the point here is that every new stage on whatever you're doing will present new problems. And all these new problems are extremely exciting. They're a way of growing, they're a way of learning, they're a way of just like becoming better, which is the whole point of life. Becoming is always better than being. I got this from a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. Um, I'm sure you've heard about that. But anyways, it's such an incredible sentence. Becoming is better than being. I absolutely love it. It just denotes how important it is to just pursue that growth on whatever you're doing. And yeah, right now my focus is essentially that I'm gonna just build a better offer for Floaty. I'm gonna communicate that offer better, and I'm gonna build this lead pipeline, which should hopefully start bringing in people who share this problem, who have not found a solution, and who I can help. So yeah, this is just a casual Saturday morning rant at the camera, and let's get this done. Very exciting times ahead, and I can now wait to see this video in a couple of years and see where I'm at.